Right now, all eyes are on Emmerson Mnangagwa. And what people are quietly whispering inside Zimbabwe is something that is raising serious concern. Because for hours, the government system appeared to slow down in a way that many people did not expect. We are talking about a situation where top officials could not be reached easily. Movements around key government areas became restricted, and rumors started spreading fast that something serious was going on behind closed doors. Now imagine this. When a country's leadership suddenly goes quiet, when communication becomes limited, and when security presence increases, people begin to ask questions. That is exactly what happened. Citizens began to wonder, what is really happening? Why is everything so tense? And according to what people are discussing, it is believed that the president stayed in a highly secured location, what many describe as a bunker-style safe zone. This is not something unusual for leaders, but the timing and the silence made it look very unusual. At this point, I want you to quickly like this video and subscribe to the channel because the kind of updates we bring here, you don't want to miss any part of it. Now, let's break it down in a simple way so everyone can understand. A bunker in this kind of situation simply means a very secure place where a leader can stay safe during uncertainty. It could be due to security concerns, internal pressure, or even precaution. But when such action happens without clear explanation, it creates tension in the country. During those hours, government activities slowed down. Some offices were not functioning at full capacity. And information flow was not clear. This is why people started using words like paralyzed, not because everything stopped completely, but because normal operations were affected. And let's be honest, in a country like Zimbabwe, where the political environment has always been sensitive, even small changes can trigger big reactions from the public. Now, some insiders are suggesting that this may be connected to internal political pressure. When different powerful groups within a government are not fully in agreement, it can create silent tension. Nothing may be announced publicly, but behind the scenes, serious discussions could be happening. Others believe it could be a precautionary move. Leaders sometimes take extra security steps when there are signals of possible unrest or instability. It does not always mean something bad has already happened, but it shows that something is being watched closely. But here is where it gets more interesting. While all this was going on, citizens and observers began to connect it with past events. Zimbabwe has had moments in history where sudden silence from leadership led to major developments later. So naturally, people are watching closely, trying to see if this is just a temporary situation or something bigger. Let me ask you, if you notice your country's leadership suddenly going quiet for hours, what would you think is happening? Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to like this video and subscribe because your engagement helps us bring you more real-time gist like this. Now, another angle to this story is how information spreads. In situations like this, rumors move faster than facts. Some people start exaggerating, others start guessing, and before you know it, the story becomes bigger than the reality. That is why it is very important to stay calm and focus on verified updates. Not everything you hear is exactly how it is, but at the same time, we cannot ignore the fact that something unusual did happen for those hours. And when normalcy returned gradually, it did not completely erase the tension. People are still asking questions. What really caused the slowdown? Why was there so much silence? And most importantly, could this happen again? Now let's connect this to a broader picture so you understand better. Leadership in any country carries a lot of pressure. Economic challenges, political expectations, and public demands. When these pressures build up, they can sometimes reflect in how decisions are made and how leaders respond to situations. Zimbabwe, like many countries, is facing economic and political challenges. So any unusual movement at the top level naturally becomes a big topic. At this point, if you are still watching, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe right now, because the next part of this gist is where things get even more interesting. Because beyond just this incident, there are deeper conversations people are beginning to have about stability, about leadership control, and about what the future might look like if such situations continue. Some analysts are saying this could just be a one-time precaution. Others are warning that it might be a sign of underlying tension that is not being openly discussed. And you know something very important? In politics, what is not said publicly is sometimes more important than what is said. So the big question remains, was this just a security measure, or is there something more behind the scenes that people are not being told?